Well, now here we are. The IFB that I shared with you, that was an infrastructure bond, actually two of them. There was one that was going for 6.5 years, and we had the other one that was going for 17 years, okay? And here we are. See, all those two bonds have actually closed. Big question is, did you invest? That video was there close to a month when I told you, hey, you know what? Bond has actually been floated. Go ahead and pick it up. And you need a minimum of only 50,000 to get started. And guess how much it was giving you as an return interest? 17.93%. That is per annum. And guess what this is? It's tax free. You're not paying any tax. And the other one was going for 14.39 or something of sort. And it was actually also tax free, and it was going for 17 years. And this one was going for 6.5 years. Can you just imagine that? If you threw a million bob into this is like close to 180,000 Kenyan shillings at the end of the year. Divide that by two, because they usually pay semi-annually, meaning after every 6 months. So the question is, do you usually just watch my videos, or do you pick those options or those opportunities that I come here to share with you? I'm basically making this video literally a day after the bond has actually closed. Close to yesterday, that was on 14th of August at around 10 a.m. Kenyan time, East African time to be specific. That's when they closed. You can no longer be able to invest. You cannot be able to bid. That is done. That is dusted. So until you wait for the next one. But the good thing is that with these bonds, they usually happen monthly. But the IFB one, yeah, used to happen like sort of a frequency of monthly. But this one that we had, it was actually not a new one, it was actually a reopened one. And the last time we had a new one was around March. That was around 18% or thereabout. So we don't know exactly when we'll have the next IFB, but indeed we are looking forward. If you ask me, I would approximate and say, hey, probably maybe in a month time we might have actually another one or the other one, okay? Because the government of Kenya really needs money and such kind of a thing. So the point is, hey, did you invest? Did you pick the opportunity? Did you vibe with it? I mean, did you just throw your cash into that thing? Because that was an amazing. By the way, sometimes if you were to do your calculations and calculate how much you will get out of you investing in these bonds compared to maybe sometimes, building rentals and what have you. And I'm not saying rentals are bad. They're amazing. I love them. I love real estate. So they are quite of an amazing way of investing your cash out there. So anyway, the question is this. People always ask me, hey, Joseph, how can I know that when these bonds are available, when these bills are available? But as we speak right now, we already have the bill. You see, we usually have the bonds and we have the bills. Okay, we have the bills. Under these bonds, we have FXD. I'm not going to stress on that. I've made a video about that. You can go check it out. And then we have IFB. So the one that we had, these two, they were actually IFB, meaning infrastructure bonds. This one is a fixed coupon interest bond. Okay. Now on the bills, we usually have three. We have the 91 days bills, we have the 182 days bills, and we have the 364 days bills, meaning you can lend government your cash for 91 days or simply 3 months, for 6 months, or for 1 year. So right now as we speak, we may not have the IFB, neither do we have the FXD, but right now we do have the 91 bills, we have the 182 bills, and we have the 364 bills. Okay, so this one, yeah, you have to pay tax, which is usually 15% withholding on the interest. And this one, of course, you have to pay interest, the FXD one, which is usually 10 to 15%. It depends. It can be 10, can be 13, can be 14, in between 10 to 15. And of course, the IFB one, you don't pay any tax. And that's why it's so much attractive. I'm looking forward to see the returns of this bill. Board, rather, might actually be oversubscribed because the government of Kenya really needs money. And of course, when you say any government, not only in Kenya, any given government on earth, and you tell their citizen to invest with the government, most of the citizens don't trust their governments. I really don't understand why. And then there is a question that people always ask me. Joseph, is it even safer to invest with the government? Is it safer? Is my money safe? Will the government default? I don't know what will happen. Today, let me just shed a little bit of light. Let me tell you one secret. Do you know what it means for a government to default? Do you know what it means for the government to be in a situation whereby they're not paying? One thing that you're supposed to know, well, according to Kenya, that's what I'm referring to, government is not a profit-making institution. They are not there to make the profit. It is there to run the things of the country or whatever they're supposed to do. Now, why it becomes, by the way, if you ask me, not even you ask me, truly to speak, bills, bonds, should I say even money market and money market fund are regarded, actually bills and bonds are way safer even than the money market funds, if you didn't know. They are way safer, they are stable, and they're regarded as low risk investments. In Kenya, we've never experienced anything like a default. We've never experienced anything like a collapse of the government and something of since independence. That was 1963. Yeah, we've never experienced anything like that. And let me just shed a little bit of light to explain to you how complicated it is for you being in a situation whereby you lose money with the government. Do you know what? Right now, as you're watching this video, there is a money that you have it in a bank. You don't want to invest, okay? Because you fear, oh, government might default, oh, my government ran away with my money, blah, blah, blah. Would you believe if I tell you that money is not there? That money is actually invested by the banks. And now the difference is your money has been put into risk, because in Kenya we usually have something called the fractional reserve. Fractional reserve is that there is a percentage of money. For example, if you deposit a million shilling in a Kenyan bank, okay? If you deposit like a million shilling, yeah? This a million shilling, if you deposit there, it is not there in that account. What happens? By law, that the Central Bank of Kenya, that's like our Federal Reserve. They tell the commercial bank, any bank apart from the commercial bank, it's called any bank apart from the Central Bank of Kenya, it is called a commercial bank. Why commercial bank? Commercial bank because it is there to make money. Central Bank of Kenya do not engage in any businesses, so it's not a profit-making institution in any way. Okay. Now, what happens is that when you deposit that a million shilling in your commercial bank, they are allowed by law to take over 90%, should I say 90% of this money, that's 900K, and invest that money in a profit-making institutions like rather investing somewhere where they can make money. For example, they can invest in bills, they can invest in bonds, they can invest in such kind of a thing. But mostly when you do just a normal deposit, they usually go for the bills because they go for a short period of time and they can actually become liquid at any given moment. So that money that you have it in a bank saying that you are worried on to invest, the government or the bank, your bank has actually taken that money and they have invested. That's why there is a specific amount of money if you go to a bank and ask, and it's your money. They tell you, oh, you have to give us time, it is not available, let's do, I don't know, write for us, explain to why you need that, blah, 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 blah. I don't know for how many days for you to get that back money, because they have already invested that cash. That's what happens. And now the difference is this: they invest your cash obviously without your consent, and then the profit that they make, they don't even share with you. The only time that they would like to sort of share something with you, and of course it is not the best thing, is when they tell you, hey, you can fix your money, for a month we can give you, I don't know, if you fix your money for an year we can give you 6%. And then that money that you fixed for an year, then they look at it and say, you know what, this guy has fixed the money in a fixed account, we're gonna give them 6%. Now we're gonna take that money, invest in a treasury bill. That treasury bill goes for a whole year again, and that treasury bills give you 16.8%. That's what they give in Kenya. 16.8%, let's say you deduct the taxes and what have you, goes back to 14.5. 14.5%, they're giving you 6%, so they take a full clean 8%. And remember one thing, this 6% that they're giving you, it has not already been subjected to tax deduction. So if you subject it to tax deductions, because that's a pre-tax, you're gonna get something like 4.5 thereabout, and they are enjoying your clean 8%. So they're literally making double of what you could pay. So why don't you just go ahead and invest that money by yourself? Now that is it. Okay. Now, that is exactly what you do when it comes to investments on these treasury bonds and the treasury bills. So the question is this: when can you know that this thing is actually available? How can you tell, hey, it's available, you can grab it, you can invest it? Listen, let me tell you one secret. It doesn't make any sense as far as your finances are concerned. You keep on watching the videos, you watch the videos, you get the information, you never do any action, you never take any action, you never, get out of the comfort zone, you actually have the fear and all those things. Go check that video that I posted. I said, if you fear investing your cash, what you're supposed to consider, how you're supposed to move about it. Go ahead and do the thing. And maybe perhaps if I may touch a little bit of the calculations on the bills, on the bonds, rather, let's say specifically on the bonds. For those who did the bidding and they were successful, by 19th of this month, that is on August, probably I know there's somebody who is about to ask me that question. This month of August, on 19th, 2024, again, I'm saying the dates because you can be watching this video in 2030, so you might not know what I'm talking about. So they are supposed to pay or do the settlement on the 19th, or not, by 19th of August 2024, they're supposed to do the settlement. Literally, sending that money you say that you're going to invest. And of course, a message has returned to you for those who did the bidding. And of course, one thing that you're supposed to know is that maybe say you had bid for £1,000,000, that's what you want to invest. That message that has returned, it's reflecting more money than what you had bid. Don't panic, don't be like, oh, they're stealing from me. No, it's the thing. Because on the 11th of November this year, 2024, we're expecting people to be paid. There is a coupon that will be paid on that particular month because the last one was paid around May. So that means you have to pay the accrued interest. Because, by the way, I'll come here and calculate for you on this board. I'll calculate for you each and every day how much you make. So you have to pay all that money that has been paid all the way from May, because I told you bonds, they usually pay semi-annually after every 6 months. So the last 6 months when they paid was around May, and they're gonna pay on November, that is on 11th, around that particular date. So what happens is that all that interest that has accrued up to the 19th of August, when you will do the settlement, all those days, if there will be 98 days, I think there will be 98 days or 182 days. I'm going to check on that. I'm going to make a full video on that. I explain to you. If maybe you're making, say, 350 shillings per day, multiplied by that 198. I'm not saying you make 300. I'm using it as an example. So you calculate all that money up to the 19th. So up to 19th, all that interest that has accrued, you have to pay it. Why? Because on the 11th of November, when they are paying the coupon, they will pay you a full coupon. So even that money that you're sending back to them, they will return it back to you. But you have to do exactly, they will turn it back to you in the sense that they will pay you a full coupon that will be paid on the 11th of November. So that's why you are required to pay more, because we called it dirty price and everything. Again, I'm going to come here and explain everything to you, how they calculate, why is it more, why is it not like the other one. But for those guys who had invested when the bills were opened, because it was a or rather when the bonds were opened, because it was a 2024 bond, they're enjoying the clean price. There is nothing like, something of sort. So the point is, guys, so anyway, I'm gonna be here, God willing, be able to post you whenever that bill or bond is available. I'm gonna be posting here, letting you know. And also, if you follow me on my socials, that is on the YouTube, TikTok, and as well as the Facebook page, I'm gonna be throwing those jobs out there. And if you're watching me, you're from my WhatsApp group, yeah, I'm gonna be posting there. But the WhatsApp group right now is actually into capacity, so I may not be able to add you. Maybe we wait for the next year, God willing, when we open another one. That's where we share a lot of information about what is available, how to invest, and what have you. And you can actually happen to interact with a lot of people there, who know something and what have you. And that is an amazing thing. You know what? They usually say you flock with the bird. But this, what do we say? Birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, that is it. So anyway, guys, I really hope that next time we get another opportunity, you'll be able to do something. For now, it's a goodbye. But don't forget, if you're seated there, you don't know how to invest on these bonds, get the knowledge first. Get the information, get the know-how, stay with it, so that when the next one opens, you'll be ready to invest. And the only way you can do that is to simply by grabbing that number of mine from the description of this specific video. There is a number there, or there is an email there. You can either shoot me an email or text me. I can be able to guide you step by step for just a cup of coffee's price. Or if you need my booklet, it goes for only 440 shillings. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one.